Welcome back. Former PIC head Dan Matjila is adamant he played no role in any wrongdoing at that institution. He wrapped up his testimony at the PIC Inquiry just yesterday after more than 4 weeks on the stand. Matjila says the company did very well under his leadership. Well, let's ask Heidi Giokos, who joins us now live from Pretoria. Heidi, so Dan Matjila says one thing, those who have taken the stand before him telling a completely different story.
Exactly, Michelle. So two completely contradicting stories here. We had Dan Matjila on the stand for about 4 weeks. That was 12 days in total. And of course, he needed to be questioned and probed, given the fact that he was the CEO of the PIC for 4 years, being questioned about those very controversial investments that the PIC made, one being Air Technology Solutions, where the PIC invested over 4 billion rand into that company. And Dan Matjila saying that the PIC has been the most successful under his watch and under his leadership, also saying that under his leadership he was able to push the asset manager to the value of 2 trillion rand. Of course, this is completely different to what we've been hearing at the PIC, throughout the PIC inquiry from witnesses, where they've been testifying that Matjila was very forceful, he was a ruler, and he, flouted processes when it came to investments. Matjila answering to this, of course, saying that wasn't the case. He says he worked very closely with his teams, he trusted his teams to make sure that, proper decisions were taken. And what's also very important to note is the fact that he is basically not taking responsibility for certain investments going wrong. He says that even though he was the CEO, the buck did not stop with him. He trusted his teams. He had various teams, whether it was the investment committee or the post-listing committee, to make sure that those investments were done properly. So no responsibility when it comes to those very controversial investments made, and basically telling the Commission that he was kicked out after 15 years of being at the PIC because he started becoming very vocal about the way things were being done and the way the board was handling certain matters. So he is done. It was a much anticipated testimony that we had been waiting for, but his testimony is over, and hopefully this commission will end by Wednesday, Thursday, with the next witnesses set up.
All right, I want to actually chat to you about just the future of the commission and when we are looking to see that final report. But before we get there, Heidi, there's that lifestyle audit that was conducted by PwC looking into, I believe it was 5 PIC executives. What came out of that?
Exactly. So this morning we had the legal team of the PIC Inquiry advocate Yanni Luba just reading into record of a PwC report, lifestyle audit report rather, that was conducted looking into 5 executives or former executives of the PIC. Mondli Gungubele, who you will remember is the former PIC chairperson and the former deputy finance minister. We also have Sibusisiwe Zulu, Dudu Klachwayo, of course Dan Matjila and Matsepo. So that lifestyle audit report specifically looked into those 5 executives. Unfortunately, we can't get access to that lifestyle audit because of very confidential bank statements and records of those 5 executives. But basically what that report has found is that there has been no indication of any criminal activity and no substance to any of the allegations made. Of course, the allegations were made by that whistleblower James Nogu, who alleged that these 5 executives have been benefiting in an illegal way from the PIC investments that were made. But it appears as though this PwC lifestyle audit report has found no criminal activity, and there is no evidence from all the records obtained in that report that there is any substance to all those allegations made against those 5 former executives of the PIC.
All right, well, that's very interesting, Heidi. Before we let you go, we are running out of time. Just very quickly tell us, when does the PIC wrap up its work? When do we see that final report?
Michelle, when you find out when the PIC inquiry ends, will you let me know? We've been doing this for 7 months. It's been very tiring, but of course it's expected to end tomorrow, they say. We know that former PIC board member Sibusisiwe Zulu is set to testify today, but that's only after 1:30 because she had to catch a flight this morning, and she'll only be available after 1:30. And tomorrow we'll hear from Jahindra Naidu, who is the man who benefited from PIC funding to buy shares to the value of 9 billion rand into Steinhoff International. So It doesn't look like we are going to be able to finish by Wednesday, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, those figures are not for the faint-hearted. Thanks very much for that. Heidi Giokos live to us there from the PIC Inquiry in Pretoria.